I'm pleased to say I'm joined by the winner of Players Championship 3 on Saturday, Kim Huybrechts. Thanks for the time, Kim. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thanks. I'm at home at the moment with a big smile on my face. Happy to see the family, but very happy with the result on Saturday, of course.
Good to hear. Well, let's just start with that title at the weekend, a first in the PDC since 2015. You've had a few days now. How do you reflect on getting back in the winners' enclosure in the PDC?
Well, I'm very proud, to be honest, especially if you look at the level these days of so many good players. And to manage to win a Pro Tour is very difficult. So I'm very proud of myself that I was able to do it after all those years. People was having doubts. I have to be honest, I myself was having doubts as well if I could still win a Pro Tour. The belief was always there, but after so long, you want it so badly that it's going to get harder and harder. So I'm very proud of the achievement.
And we have to ask you as well, you said in your interview afterwards on Saturday that your brother Ronnie said if you won the tournament, you would have to pay for food. So did you treat your brother to dinner after?
Yeah, we went to the steakhouse with Neil Sonneveld as well, Yuri van der Velde, and I paid for dinner. That's the last Pro Tour I'm going to win.
Have to wait another 8 years now to get dinner from you.
Next time they can pay.
That sounds fair to me. We'll come back to the weekend later, but there is lots to catch up on since we last had you on the show, and I had a look earlier, way back in May 2019. There's been some changes in your career off the hockey, a change of management, a change of manufacturer as well. So talk us through those changes you've had over the last few years.
Well, yeah, I was maybe in a bad spot in my life in the past, and I just wanted a new thing, a new change, something that would brighten up my darts career again. And I was very drastic there. I said, you know what, I'm just gonna change everything, darts, management, just like you start from zero. And I was very grateful to Mac Elkin and to Unicorn that they gave me the chances. They brought me where I was. Had some brilliant times with them, Premier League participants, majors, semi-finals, finals. So I was very, very thankful for them, but I needed for myself, for my career, that it was time for a new step and for a new level. And I found that with Hemeco, my new management, and with Bulls from the Netherlands. These people are amazing. They help me so badly. They do everything they can in their power to help me raise my game, and I'm very thankful to them as well.
And the change of management that came in early 2020, and not long after that we see the world shut down with the virus. Darts was the same. You had that long break before the home tour started, and then a few months after that we had the summer series. So what was that time like for you, going from being on the road, travelling to events, to then spending all that time at home?
Well, yeah, I think it was for everybody a big change in their lives, not only for dart players but for the whole world. All of a sudden, we were restricted from doing our normal routines, and playing darts was our routine. Of course, traveling was part of that, and all of a sudden that's disrupted, and it was in the beginning very hard. It was a little bit strange to play tournaments at home through a webcam. It's hard not to see your opponent, to see his reactions to his good finishes or your high finishes, and I didn't really like it, to be honest. I'd rather see the opponent and rather get the atmosphere of the public. That was also a strange thing. Then we could play darts again, but no crowds were allowed. So the majors were a bit more boring. The atmosphere was not there. So I'm really, really happy that everything is a little bit normal, shall we say, that we can all have our tournaments again and have fun on the tournaments, and that's the most important thing, I think.
Yeah, good to have the fans back and the full calendar. And 2021, we had the sad loss of Kyle Anderson, someone that you called your best mate. What are the memories that have stuck with you from your time spent with Kyle on the tour?
Oh, his laugh. His laugh was the best laugh ever. I can still hear it in my head. He was telling jokes that were so bad, but they were so bad that they were so funny. And then he started laughing with his jokes, and just because he laughed so hard, everybody just cracked open and smiled and laughed. And he was always happy. He was always happy. He was so far away from his family. He just got beat on the dartboard. He came back and he told you the worst joke, and I was thinking, Kyle, how beautiful are you? He just wanted to see everybody smile. He was one of the most beautiful persons that I've ever met in my life.
A good man. And the end of that year, 2021, you and Gerwyn Price, you served up an Ali Pali Classic for us, going all the way to that sudden death leg. What was it like being involved in a game like that?
Well, a bit two-sided, to be honest. Of course, he was part of a classic game that will that people still bring up to me. But the bad part is that I was on the losing side of that classic, especially with the sudden dead leg. That's extra painful against the number one of the world. That was painful, and also a bit painful because it wasn't a classic in a good way. It was a classic because there was needle on stage. There was a bit of words. So we've both put that behind us. We're talking again. We're friends again. So it was good to be part of a classic game, but not entirely for the good reasons.
Well, good to hear you guys have buried the hatchet on that. And just touching on 2022 as well, and I've got to mention one of the checkouts of the year, the 134 treble 18 tops to beat Michael van Gerwen in your home country in Belgium on the Euro Tour. Was that the best checkout of your career, given it was the home crowd and against MVG?
I think so, yeah, 100%. I told her on that stage at the interview that it was one of the most beautiful moments in my career. In playing in your hometown, Michael van Gerwen, and then that checkout. And I wasn't even expecting a chance because I was already focusing on the next leg because Michael already missed 9 darts. So for that to go in, then it was a piece of magic for me. And then, for the crowd as well. The crowd went absolutely mental, and that was beautiful to see. And just to hear everybody shout your name, it was still gives me goosebumps. Yeah,
it was a brilliant finish. And sticking with darts in Belgium, you and Dimitri Van den Bergh, you've had some high-profile meetings in the last few years, a quarter-final on TV and the last World Championship you two guys met. How much do those games raise the interest of darts back home?
Yeah, Dimitri winning the match play was the start. It was the kickstart to TV getting interested and wanted to bring darts on television. And then from then on, it's just exploded over here. We've had some beautiful tournaments, some beautiful moments of darts on telly. And I think that makes your sport big when it gets on telly and everybody watches it. And the interest in darts now is so popular. I'm the owner now of a dart shop, and I can see every day how many people that just come in and buy darts and buy darts equipment, and that they say they've started playing since it's on TV or since Corona. And I think at the moment Belgium is one of the biggest darts countries in the world, and I never had expected that.
And off the hockey, you mentioned you've got your own dart shop in Belgium. You've been putting on lessons and workshops. How did that all come about? And for our listeners who might be living in Belgium or not far away, where is it based in Belgium?
Well, it came from... I was always a top 16 player, and you're in the Premier League, and money comes in, and you're happy with that, and then all of a sudden it's not going good again. You're losing a lot of games in the first round. You're missing out on some TV tournaments, so you see the other side financially. And now the last couple of years it's going better again, so financially wise it's good. But then I started talking with my wife and said, you know what? What if that happens again, that you miss out on tournaments and you don't qualify for this and this? So we have to do something as a backup. And then we started doing lessons and workshops at home. But it's your private place, so we didn't want too many people here. So I said to my wife, I'll have to rent the place, put up some dartboards, and then try to do lessons or workshops over there. And a friend of mine just said, why don't you do a dart shop, sell some equipment as well? And from there it started rolling, the idea, and we started a dart shop here in our hometown, Nijlen, near Antwerp, and I have to say it's going good at the moment.
And we've got another Euro Tour in Belgium coming up later this year, but where do you see the next stage of development for darts in Belgium? Could we see a World Series event there in the future, perhaps?
Yeah, I'm hoping. I was a commentator last week on Belgian TV, and the other commentator asked me the question if we could maybe have a Premier League night in Belgium, and I said, why not? The sky's the limit. If you said 10 years ago that there would be a Premier League night in Germany, nobody would have believed it. So why not in Belgium? I'm not saying next year or in 2 years, but in the future, why not? Darts is popular here. It's hot, so we can try it. We can go for a major. We can go for a World Series. And as a country, we have to stand behind that idea that it could be possible to bring an important tournament or an important night of the Premier League to Belgium.
That sounds good to me. And darts gets a lot more coverage on TV these days in Belgium. We saw from your Twitter as well, you're part of the broadcast during the Premier League, and I think I saw a fan watching sent you some food to eat on TV. So how did that happen, and what was it they sent you?
Yeah, well, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about some sweets, candy, and I said what my favorite candy was, and I had to do a lesson a couple days later. And the person that I was giving the lessons to bought me some of those sweets. So I wanted to say thank you on TV to that person. And the co-commentator asked me what my favorite meal was, so the next person could bring me that meal. And we were talking about the meal, and it sounded so good, and I was hungry at that moment. So I said to him, Matthias, you really need to stop talking about food because I'm getting hungry here. And one of the viewers listened to it, and he ordered some food and sent it to the studio where we was doing the commentating. So it was a beautiful moment for Belgian TV.
Brilliant. Well, during the break between the World Championship and the start of the Pro Tours this season, we saw your brother Ronnie win back his tour card at Q School. When we did our review of Q School, we said about the determination of Ronnie at 57 to get back on the tour. So how pleased were you to see him get a card again, and what's it been like these last 2 weekends with him there with you again?
Well, I was so nervous during Q School. I watched every single throw that he had on Dart Connect, every single throw, and I was shouting at my laptop, at my phone. When he won his game, I was cheering, and everybody looked at me like, what did his favorite football team score? So nobody knew why I was cheering for him, but I was so nervous and so happy for Ronnie that he got his tour card back, because, well, to be honest, he's 57, and it's not really easy on that age to play against all those young players that play Q School at the moment, and they're so confident. So it was really hard for him to qualify, especially these days. Like I said in the beginning, the level at this time is so high, not only on the Pro Tour, but the Challenge Tour, the Development Tour. If you watch at some averages over there, it's just mental. So to qualify on 57 age is just beautiful, and I have to say, I really think that I won the tournament because Ronnie was there as well, because in difficult moments he just looks at me and he gives me a signal. Doesn't matter what it is, to calm down or to throw my first dart a bit higher above the treble 20, but he knows what to say on the right moments, and I listen to him and watch him. We know exactly by sign language what to do, and that helped me so much.
No, it's good to see. And you mentioned on Saturday you'd been playing well the first Pro Tour weekend, losing with high averages. The run on Saturday, getting past Gerwyn Price in the semi-finals, then facing Gabriel Clemens, who was looking for his first title. You were looking for your first in 8 years. Did it feel like a big occasion going into that final?
Yeah, of course. Like you said, beating some good players, Nathan Aspinall on the way. I had a 112 average in the first game against Devin Peterson. Then you know you're playing good. But then to beat, of course, Gerwyn Price, who is one of the best still players in the world, and actually to beat him, I think it was 7-3 or 7-4. So not like that it was a hard game. Played really good. So I was happy with the semi-final. But then in the past, I was like, sometimes I was happy too soon that I was in the semis. It felt good, and now I was like, no, there's more games to come. And then won the semi-final, and I straight away found my focus for the final. And I have to say, Gabriel missed a couple of doubles. I was a bit lucky in the beginning, but I took my chances, and that's what it's all about. On this level, there's not a lot of margin. A lot of the players are almost as good as each other. The talent percentage is almost equal, so you have to take those small opportunities, and that's what I did.
And you got the title, and now of course you've got to get a new shirt with a 5th cross to mark your 5th PDC title. Is that going to be ready in time for the UK Open?
It's not going to be ready in time for the UK Open, but we are designing some new shirts, so soon there will be a new Kim Huybrechts shirt available.
Look forward to that. Well, and a couple more before we let you go. This year we've seen the Euro Tour qualifiers move from a Friday to a Monday. You won through one of them this week. Do you prefer playing on a Monday to a Friday, having those 2 days of darts to lead into the qualifiers, or do you prefer the old way?
Doesn't really matter to me. Friday, Monday, I don't really feel the difference. but the importance of the Euro Tours is just massive now, and that's sometimes more difficult mentally because you want to qualify for those European Tours. You want to be on that stage, and the prize money on the Euro Tours is just good. So it's good to have played Pro Tours, so you can have a good feeling like I did now. But well, you see, I won a tournament on Saturday, but doesn't mean you qualify for both on Monday. I lost one, missing 5 match starts. But Friday, Monday doesn't really matter to me.
And lastly, you've been in the PDC for more than a decade now. You've had your highs and lows, but this title, a sign that you're on your way back. You're in the top 32 again, and lots to look forward to this year. So what are your main goals for the rest of 2023 now?
Well, first of all, just keep enjoying the way I'm playing. I'm loving darts again. There was a time that was different, so that is the most important thing now that I've realized when I was on a down, that you still have to have the love for what you do. It doesn't matter what you do in life, just enjoy it. And the other goal, of course, is just getting back to the top 24, top 20, top 16. Those are the steps. I don't know how soon it will happen, but it will happen. I believe in it. But just take it step by step and we'll see.
Well, Kim, it's a pleasure to have you back on the show. We appreciate you taking out the time, and congratulations on the title at the weekend, and fingers crossed you'll be treating Ronnie to some more steaks during the rest of the year.
Yeah, let's hope so. But he can buy some steaks as well next time. Cheers, buddy. Thank you. Bye.